The man stomped on a disposable razor, snapped it apart and pulled out the blade with his mouth. Then he broke a toothbrush in half and used a lighter to melt the tip of the handle. Pressing the razor blade firmly into the softened plastic, he created a simple homemade knife. Next, he stood on the table and lit the other half of the toothbrush handle with the lighter again. He pressed the melted end tightly against the screws on the light fixture, creating an imprint of the screw shape. Once it cooled and hardened, it became a makeshift screwdriver. He unscrewed the fixture, opened the cover, and hid the knife he had just made inside. In a prison filled with violent felons, this tiny knife could become extremely useful. After finishing everything, he lay on the bed pretending to sleep. Just then, a man walked up to his cell. Joey acted as though nothing was wrong, but in the next second he jumped up and punched the man in the face before smashing his head into the corner of the wall. Just as Joey lifted his foot to continue the attack, he suddenly froze. He realized the guy had only come over to borrow a lighter. That instantly made things awkward. Without wasting another second, Joey hurriedly carried the man to the infirmary. If someone died over this, the situation would become disastrous. He kept trying to explain to the guards that it had all been an accident, but they refused to listen. Within moments, guards completely surrounded his cell. At that point, Joey stopped holding back. He sprayed lubricant all over the floor, ripped off his shirt, sprayed the lubricant onto his head, and rubbed it across his entire body. Then he grabbed two broken table legs and stared viciously toward the entrance.
Weapons down, stand against the back wall.
Several heavily armed guards stormed into the cell and quickly pinned Joey into the corner. But Joey was slippery as an eel, and within seconds he managed to break free from their grip.
Fucking come any closer, mate. I'll fucking skewer this pig like a fucking hog roast. Now fuck off.
Joey might have been crazy, but he was not crazy enough to kill prison guards. He only wanted them to finally take his explanation seriously. After briefly explaining what had happened, Joey released the guard he was holding, but he was still too naive. There was no way the guards would let him off that easily. In the next second, he was slammed onto the bed and handcuffed. Meanwhile, another group had already set their sights on him, completely underestimating just how brutal Joey really was. Several inmates wearing hoods suddenly rushed into the cell and immediately began beating Joey mercilessly. They even shoved his head into a freshly used toilet. That completely enraged him. Joey instantly launched a counterattack. First, he ripped off one inmate's hood and slammed the man's head straight into the toilet, forcing him to experience the exact same thing himself.